Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today's mission, well, I ain't got a lot of time today, chipping over things. I ain't got a lot of spare time today, so all I'm going to do is try and get this, this through the chassis, ready to wire up tomorrow. It'll all be one video, but I'll just do part today to part tomorrow. This is the autosparks rear chassis wiring loom and engine bay wiring loom. I've had a few questions about these, how easy are they to wire up and stuff like that, do they come with instructions, and the simple answer is really they don't need instructions, they're that simple. You've got, let's start from the front, shall we? No, that's the back. Right, in your chassis you've got two big holes, well you should have, unless they've been welded up, and I mean holes that was put there from the factory, not ones that are rotted out in the customary Land Rover fashion. So you've got two big grommets there, you've got a hole right under the back end there, one under the front, about level with the pedal box, with the brake master cylinder straight down, there's a hole there, and your wiring goes through there. And what you've got at this end, you've got two plugs that plug into a plug under the bonnet there. You can't miss it, it's straight next to the master cylinder again, and that's it for there. You're so far down, you come down, you've got that there, which is a green and black trace and a white and green trace. That is your fuel tank sender, and you've got a rubber bung to obviously bung the hole up in the chassis. So you honestly can't go wrong with that. Well, you can, the only thing you can do wrong is put them the wrong way around, so you might have to flick around with them and figure out which way it needs to go. This end, this is a slightly more complicated end. You've got another rubber bung on there for it to come out, so you need to try and get that through your chassis, because obviously these are put on before all the plugs and everything's put on. And you've got, it branches off two ways. That is your left hand side, passenger side here in the UK, and that is the shorter one, is your driver's side. You've got two bungs there. These are for the rear lights, so you've got two bungs on there, one there, one there. That's where it comes up through the tub, obviously, to your rear lights. And I'll come up there and show you a bit in a bit slightly better detail, if I can. Right, yeah, there's your plugs that goes into the wiring loom at the front. You cannot put them in the wrong way around. They've got a little locating bit of rubbery plasticky stuff on there. I'm quite impressed with the quality of this. That's obviously your rubber bung, bungs up the chassis, and that is your fuel sender for your fuel gauge. Right, on this side you'll notice they are slightly different, as in they've got plugs on, and I did ponder about this for a few minutes. You've got earths and that, you know what I mean, you got all that's the left side, and this is the driver's side. Obviously you've got earths and stuff like that, and I did ponder why have they got multiple wires coming into there, and there's two of each wire. But what it is, I've figured out what it is that the wiring for the other side that links into the wiring loom there comes back up the wiring loom, all the way back up and into there. So it's just an easier way of linking them together. But also, as an added bonus, what that gives you is that's connecting obviously the right side to the left side, but as an added bonus, because all you're going to use is one of them holes, that also gives you the plugs then to wire up towing electrics easy enough, because then they just plug straight into there. Simple as that, really. You can't really go too far wrong with it. But look, everything's colour coded, so you'll figure out as you go. Your lights in the back of the Land Rover should be colour coded as well. Right, how am I going to get that through the chassis? It's a good question. What I'll do is I'll pull you off here, Right, let me pause you a second. Right, I've got my torch that the crazy Americans sent over for me. And there you go, you see a hole there. I've already got a bit of wire in there to shove through. Now what I've done, I'll pull this out, is I've got a bit of wire, sort of a bit of welding brazing wire, like that. Hopefully that's going to collect, if I can get that through there, this wire that I'm going to send through from the other end. You can use, why am I using this wire? It's purely because it's what I've got laying around the garage. You need something that's fairly stiff but still flexible, thin, and you don't want something that's too thin and flimsy so it gets trapped and then just bends up inside. So you want something that's fairly flexible but still stiff enough that you can push it through the chassis, bearing in mind that your chassis, if you're just rewiring an old chassis, this is a brand new one, could have 30, 40, 50 years of mud, grot, rot, rust and everything in the chassis. So all it is hopefully what will happen is that end will get pushed through the chassis like that, in that hoop there, so I can then just pull that out and lift that up. Hopefully I'm not fishing around for it then, if this works. It's a bit more awkward doing it this way, because whenever I've done it before, I've done it before all the body was on, so it was a bare chassis and it was a hell of a lot easier. But we'll see how this goes. What I'll do now, look, you've got to make sure actually before that you've got enough of whatever you're shoving through that's longer than the chassis itself, so you've still got some sticking out either end. Obviously you don't want to pull it out that end and it disappears that end, or vice versa. So I'll show you that hole there. Give me torch again, Tim's torch. There you go, you see the hole in the chassis there. It's a little bit more, that's what I've gone for. I'm going to shove it in through this end. It's a little bit harder to get because it's going to be, I'm trying to hold the torch, and it's going to be harder trying to fish the wire out of that small gap there than what it is the other one. It'll be fairly easy to shove the wire in there, but harder to fish it out. So yeah, I want to send it back that way, I think. Well, no, what I'm going to do, yeah, this feed wire, I'm going to send it that way. Right, let's see how this goes. What I've done is I've marked a bit of tape on there, so when I'm shoving it in that end, I know roughly how far to shove it down the chassis. I'm going to try and get this as straight as I can. So I know when I get to that bit of tape at this end, I know it should be about where it needs to be at that end. That's the theory on it anyway. Shove that through there. Right. It's a bit of resistance there. Let's go for it again, I think. Right, that's my bit of tape, and I've just did that bit of let's see whether this has worked, shall we? Let's get you right down here. There. Get a torch. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I was hoping it had gone through there, but right. Sure. Let's see if I can just get any luck hooking hold of it. Let's see if I can hook it with this. I'm not thankful, I'll be honest. Right. This is the challenging bit now. There's no real easy way of getting in there. What I'll do is I'll put my wire back in again, pull that backwards and forwards, and see how we go. Right, a bit of wiring there didn't work. What I completely forgot I had, let me get this out, I managed to hook it down. As you can see, see the wire, but I completely forgot I had these extra long hooks. I don't know why, I just completely forgot I had them. Right, so that's that wire there, and hopefully, yep, sticking out the other side, you can see it there. What I'm trying to figure out now is what's going to be the easiest way to shove the wiring loom through. Is it going to be from front to back or back to front? And I'm thinking, although this has got the bigger plugs on there, we've only got that one flimsy wire coming off, which goes in the right direction anyway, that we want to pull it through. But then I'm also thinking, actually, I don't want to have to pull it through that far, no, because that'll be fine. Yeah, no, that'll be fine like that. Obviously, I'll try and get the rubber bungs through the hole. Or, you see what a tangled mess is getting in, you have to try and get all that lot through. Yeah, I think we go back to front, send that way through first. Yeah, that's the way we'll give it a go. See how that works out, fingers crossed. What I need to do first is make sure that that isn't just going to slide off down there. So what I'm going to do is put a tie wrap around there. And what that's going to do then is stop that from sodding off all the way down there once you've got it through. That's not going to go through anyway, so that's fine. Put that all the way up as far as that'll go, just so it's out of the way. So then all I've got to do is take that onto a bit of wire I've got going through, pull it through, job's done. Right, that's the plan anyway. I'm just going to take it on with some electrical tape. Let's see how this goes, shall we? Right, so that's going through there like so, and I've taped it up. I've put the plugs one behind the other rather than stacking them on wide like that to make it as skinny as possible, wrapped loads of tape around it to make it as slippery as possible so there's nothing, or not as much to snag, and then taped it past taping the actual wire itself, not just the plugs. You don't want to be pulling just on the plugs and then pull the wires out the back of the plug. So right, that's ready to there. So what I'll do is I'll pull the wire through the other end. In fact, I'll take you with me while I do it, just so it comes up to that, and then I'll thread that through. Hopefully this should work. It is a lot easier to do it with the body off. That's proving awkward there, so what we'll do, I think I'll have a go, see if it'll just, that's it, push that in there like that. Ideally, you want two people on this, one feeding it in one end, while the other pulls it at the other end, so it's not chafing around the hole. But I'm on my own, so we've got what we've got. That's gone stiff again there. Right. Don't know if you can see, but I can see all right. So let's see if the others is going to go, shall we? I can see it's wiggling the wire down that end. It's going to prove a bit awkward. What I'll do is I'll put you on the stand. Right, as you might have saw, that's took a bit of backwards and forwards action to get that through there, but now it's through. Pulled the wire through. Whoops. The wire through for the fuel sender. I've just got that bung through there. And on this end, we are up to the bung there to go in there. So what we've got now is a long wire to go to the other side. Let me untangle this a second, hold on. There's a few, oh, come on you bugger, awkward sod. So the shorter of the two, the one with the double blocks on, goes up the tub there into for them lights. All these wires have got to go up there as well. This one then goes across the back of the rear tub floor underneath, or fasten to the chassis, or you can fasten it with some P-clips, tie wraps, or whatever you want really, and goes up the same position on the other side. And then it's just a case of plugging it all in. But what I'll do is what I've done with my torch. Sorry about all the flitting about with the camera work. Don't kick that. What you'll see is somewhere in here, if I can find it, is that plug there. And that is where your wire and loom plugs into. And you've got that plug there, you've got top of your fuel tank, and that's this end done. It really is as simple as that. And then you've got to colour match your rear lights up, your indicators, reverse lights, fog lights, whatever you've got for that end. Right, I might make this a two-part video, just to it might be another day or so before I get onto it, because I have got my fuel pump back for the T25 to go on. I've got the engine harness, which is really simple as well. You can't really go wrong with these. The only complicated head scratching bit of wiring there is the back of the clocks. The back of the clocks is a bit of a rat's nest. But the diagrams tend to be alright-ish, especially on the earlier models. The later models, they tend to have a few extras like fog lights and stuff like that, interior lights and stuff that aren't always on the diagrams. So yeah, what I'll do now is I'll make this into a two-part video. I ain't got time to do any more of it today, so I'll crack on with it tomorrow. It'll only take me a couple of hours to have the whole thing wired up, fingers crossed. That's including T-brakes, because they're that easy to work on. I said the engine harness, I'll have a quick walk through this as well while we're here. Really simple. That bit goes to the alternator, and then it follows round the left hand side of the engine. You've got, now I'll have to try and remember exactly what's what here. Right, you've got a thick brown wire and a thin brown wire. They go to the starter motor. They're your charge wires and stuff like that, power wires. The green and blue trace wire, that I believe goes to the temperature sensor. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure that's the temperature sensor. Oil pressure, and then it plugs in to the corresponding plug and disappears into the dashboard. Simple as that, really simple as that. If you're doing it on an old chassis and you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to get it through there, and you want to fasten it to the chassis, what I'd recommend doing is fastening it to the inside of the chassis, not the outside. Inside, it's less likely to get snagged on things, and possibly put some, what do you call it, the armour sleeve stuff, is it conduit or something like that, and put some of that on it, extra tape it up, make sure it's extra waterproof, and just you can use that conduit stuff, and you can use P-clips. Doesn't mean drilling a few little holes in the chassis, but it's an old Land Rover, it's no doubt got loads in it already anyway. Or you can put it up, and well, you can do that so far, and then the bracing for the tub floor, you can tie wrap it up to that and put it round. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to thread it through the chassis. I've done plenty where I haven't. So yeah, as always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll put this video on tonight. Part 2 should be tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes to plan. See you soon.